I'm just finishing reading this book for the second time, The Gift of Allowance. I have 2 copies because I love it so much. Actually, me and my husband each needed our own copy. But The Gift of Allowance is a crazy book. I'm actually having a much stronger reaction to it the second time that I'm reading it because, well, allowance is the greatest thing that we resist and the greatest gift that we have. If we can allow the world to be the way that it is with absolutely no judgment, then we can start to allow us to be the way that we are with absolutely no judgment, which is the absolute most important thing in the world. If each person had allowance for themselves and didn't judge themselves, clearly there would be no war, we wouldn't be killing the earth, and we wouldn't be fighting in our relationships all the time. But it's written by Gary Douglas, and I've just never read anything quite like it. It's really hard to get through, can be painful. And a lot of the sentences you're going to have to read many times over to get what they mean. But if I would call this book beginner to super advanced all at the same time, because the stories are really good and they really drive the points home and they're really interesting to read. There's some great examples and the theory is extremely complex and difficult. But once I'm noticing that as I'm reading book, I'm becoming the principles. Like it is getting me to a level of freedom with allowance that nothing else has been able to do or hit me with. And I will definitely be reading this book for a 3rd time and a 4th time. I think I'm going to leave a little bit of time in between. I just read it twice, pretty close back to back, and it's settling into my system in a really, really dynamic way. But I get that it's something that each person needs to read at least 5 times. So, The Gift of Allowance by Gary Douglas, a true guide to consciousness.